Hi there, and happy full moon in Scorpio. Today is Monday, May 12th. I'm your astrologer and tarot reader, Laura, and I'm really excited to tell you all about this full moon and also tell you about what's happening this week in the stars. So let's get started with the full moon because it's happening right now. This full moon is in Scorpio. So the sun is in Taurus, the moon is in Scorpio, and it is inviting us to pay attention to all the things we don't typically pay attention to. So anything that's been hidden under the surface, anything that's been causing emotional clutter or physical clutter in our lives comes to the surface so that we can let it go. There's a really simple ritual that you can do today. I actually posted a TikTok video about it where you can find one thing in your house that you basically never see, that you probably never clean. It's probably close to the ground, like the feet of your desk or a little space under your dishwasher or the space under your refrigerator, which, let's be real, when's the last time you cleaned that? So find that thing, grab your cleaning supplies, and take 5 minutes to clean it out. It's super simple, super easy. It takes no time at all. And while you're cleaning that thing, set the intention to clear the clutter from your life. It can be a broad statement, I want to clear the clutter from my life, or it can be more specific. Maybe there's one thing that's been getting in your way that you really want to move aside. While you're cleaning that thing, think about it. Think about it disappearing from your life. Set the intention to let it go. And you're telling the universe by taking this really simple action, by doing something that you don't normally do. The universe loves when we do things differently. It tells the universe we're ready for change. You're telling the universe by doing this thing and thinking about what you want to let go that you're ready to move on, and you're willing to put in the work to make it happen. So do that little ritual if there's something you want to move out of the way in your life, and then ask for something good to come in and fill its place. Full moons are a really amazing time to release. On new moons, we welcome in. On full moons, we release. And still, when you're releasing something, you want to make sure that you're filling in the gap that's left by whatever's leaving your life. So you can, as you're cleaning or after you're cleaning, you can simply say to the universe, bring me abundance, bring me money, bring me whatever good I desire in my life in place of this thing that you're taking away. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Always give gratitude. And that'll ensure that you have some control over what you're bringing in as opposed to just leaving it up to chance, because we want to make sure that the things that come in are actually things that we want. So what I've done today is I've cleaned a couple things around my house. I have decided to get rid of some old stuff. After I record this video, I'm going to throw out an old pair of shoes, and I lit some candles. I've done little rituals throughout the day. And what I'm going to do after that is I have this Rose of Jericho. If you've never seen this before, there you go. This is a desert plant that is pretty much it's immortal, basically. It doesn't die, but it's always kind of dormant until it gets wet. It has these little roots on the bottom, and if you spray them with some water, the whole thing will unfurl. It'll get really big, and this plant attracts in abundance. It attracts in goodness into your life. So you should be able to pick it up at any metaphysical store, maybe not any, but many metaphysical stores. And you can reuse it over and over again. You don't have to leave it out all the time. You can use it for your ritual, and then when it curls back up, you can put it away and use it again for next time. So that's what I'm going to do today. Once my candle burns out with my intention, I'm going for what to release. I'm going to open this up to invite in the positivity. So there are a couple little tips for you for how to take advantage of this energy if you're witchier and want to kind of do a ritual. So with that, let's move on and talk more about this full moon and what's actually happening in the sky. I'll share my screen for you. So this full moon is in 22 degrees, the sun is in 22 of Taurus, and the moon is in 22 of Scorpio. And the Taurus-Scorpio axis is where our deep psychology and our material worlds meet and connect. Taurus is all about our stability, our desires, the really physical, material things we want in our lives. And Scorpio is about the deep psychological holes that we're trying to fill, or the deep psychological wounds that we're holding on to that we need to let go of. And so when these two meet, we tend to see more clearly what some of the changes are that we can make in order to live fuller, happier, healthier lives. So things may come up for you today that are kind of illuminating some baggage, but just know that that's happening so you can let that baggage go. Do a ritual like the one that I shared in the beginning, or do some other things, do some journaling. Sometimes it just helps to know what's going on, and then you can use your intuition to decide how to respond. But that's what you might be seeing today. We also have this full moon with Mercury in 3 degrees of Taurus, squaring Pluto in 3 degrees of Aquarius. This is important because Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio, the manager of Scorpio, and Mercury is our thoughts, our perception, the ways that we think and pick up information. So Mercury in this square with Pluto is essentially being able to pick up on some of the things we would rather not think about. And it's really easy with this square for us to be like, nope, I'm going to push that away. I don't want to deal with that right now. But to make the most of this situation, we need to find that common ground. We need to find a way to make it easier for ourselves to confront those things, because if we don't, they'll just get buried deeper and potentially come out in potentially destructive ways later on. So the magic of this square is that we actually, because of the strong, close connection between Mercury and Pluto, we have the capacity to really rationalize those more emotional, challenging messages. We can convert them more easily than usual when these two planets are not connected into rational, logical thoughts. And so that's the superpower coming out of this today. We just need to kind of get up the strength and the motivation and the commitment to actually kind of confront some of those things. It's so simple. People talk about journaling all the time, but this is a really good time to do some journaling, to maybe even automatic writing, to get some stuff out that you may not want to spend a lot of time really mulling over. If you can just get it on paper and then even burn the paper afterwards, that could be really helpful in healing. Another thing I want to mention about this full moon is this Uranus-Sun conjunction. So this full moon is happening in really close contact with Uranus, which we know is the planet that creates spontaneous change. It is like lightning that can strike at any time. And that strike can either do really wonderful things for you or things that you would really rather not have happen. But either way, they propel you onto a new path. So whether in the moment it feels like a good thing or a bad thing or an easy thing or a hard thing, the bottom line is that thing is really helping you craft your future. So the best way to handle this is to really embrace those surprises that happen, be willing to be flexible, and honestly go with the flow. Let's move on from this full moon and onto other things that are happening in the sky this week. We have this Jupiter here in 23 degrees of Gemini, and it's moving into a square with the North Node. It's also going to be moving into a square with Saturn. The North Node and Saturn have been together in the sky for a really long time, and they've been asking us to really focus on our future. This has been felt in our personal lives and also in the world around us. The North Node is kind of where we're headed, and Saturn makes us focus. So we have been asked to focus on our goals, but we've probably felt really restricted throughout that process. Maybe we know what we want to do, but we really don't know how to do it. Or we've been trying things, we've been doing a lot of work to get us where we want to go, but it's felt like it hasn't paid off. So what's happening now with this Jupiter is that Jupiter is going to come along and offer us opportunities that feel a little bit more, not necessarily productive, but feel like they have more to offer us in return. We've been focusing on our goals for so long, and here comes this really fun, it's almost like you've been, you're in college and you've been cramming for this exam for weeks and you're still not getting where you really want to be. You don't know everything you want to know yet, but your roommate comes home and they're like, hey, there's this party at this club, your crush is going to be there, why don't you come with me? So you abandon everything and you go out for a night of just like partying. Right? That's kind of the vibe of this transit. And we might need a break. Like, it might be good because we need a break. We need to take some space from this thing that we've been like pouring all of our energy to, that we haven't gotten a return from, so that we can gather the strength to go back to it again later. It could also be that there's a really enticing opportunity that gives us a little bit of a it's trying to trick us maybe into even letting our goals go, letting our future go, and focusing on this other thing instead because it seems like it's going to give us more of a return. That Jupiter North Node square will be exact on Sunday, May 18th. So that's a really good time. It's the weekend. Go out, have some fun, enjoy. And then Jupiter Saturn won't be in an exact square until Saturn's moved on from Pisces in a few weeks. I don't remember the exact date, but sometime in June, Jupiter and Saturn will be in a square, but it'll be kind of different vibes at that point. Saturn will have moved on from the North Node and it'll be in Aries connected to Neptune, shaking up the structures in our lives and in the world around us. So it'll be a kind of different vibe then. And I think the importance, having said all that, I think the importance of this Saturn North Node conjunction now is to remind us of the things we're working towards so that when things start to change and break down in a couple weeks, we have prepared to manage those changes in our lives, but B, created some foundation for ourselves, created some stability so that when those things do happen, we're more equipped to take them on and we can still keep our mission in mind. So that'll be exact on Sunday. So pay attention to what's happening in your life. What are the things that you have felt stuck in, and what are ways that you can take a nice break so that you can refocus once that's done? Also happening this week, we have Venus moving closer and closer into a trine with Mars. Venus is in Mars's sign. These two planets are working really, really well together. And this can help with, this is, I think, what has been giving us our motivation to keep going, even though it's been really slow moving on our path forward. This Venus in Aries is keeping us connected to what we want for ourselves, the things that will make us feel free and alive. And Mars is giving us the push to keep going, even though we're not seeing results. And it's because we just want this thing so badly. So as we move through the week, those two planets will get closer and closer to a trine, which won't happen until May 20th, but we're harnessing that energy. And I think even though it's not exact until about a week and a little bit from now, we can still really leverage that. Those are the main things happening this week. Uranus is inching closer and closer towards Gemini. That'll happen in a few months, and then we'll get a lot of change when it comes to all of these outer planets making big moves. But until then, we're looking at the inner planets, we're looking at Jupiter, we're looking at Saturn, and we're kind of tracking our progress. So things are moving quickly around us. In our personal lives, we're still kind of waiting for some big change, but the overall message for this week is keep your goals in mind, keep your values in mind, act in accordance with your goals and values, and don't think about what you're getting in return. Don't think about the end result, just think about taking the steps forward. If you can try to get your satisfaction from actually checking the things off your list, that might help you get through this time where you're not really seeing results, but results will come. You will get a break. You will be able to kind of focus on other things. And maybe that's what you should do. Maybe that's what we all should do, is keep doing what we need to do, but then find our fun elsewhere. Find our fun that will keep us going, even though we might not be seeing the results that we want. So that's what I'll talk about for this week. I'll have more next week. There will be a lot more happening next week, I think. But for now, keep at it. Do some full moon rituals for yourself and invite in some new, release the old, and you'll be good to go. Thank you for watching this video. My name is Laura. I am your astrologer. You can find me at sageastrology.com. You can also check out my Substack, sageastrology.substack.com. I am opening up a new paid tier for my Substack. So moving forward, you'll be able to receive a new moon guide every month for free. Paid subscribers will receive a new moon and a full moon guide with additional personalized information for your sun sign, for your rising sign. And I'll also include either rituals or manifestations or guided meditations in that guide for my paid subscribers. So it'll be something similar to what I shared today about the full moon. So follow me on Substack. Even if you don't want to do a paid subscription, follow for the new moon guide, and follow me on Instagram at sageastrology and TikTok at Sage of the Stars. Thank you so much and enjoy your week.